In this video, we will derive the elasticity form of the Slutsky's equation. As you may recall, the Slutsky's equation essentially says that the price effect, which is for a good y, which is del y over del py, equals the substitution effect, which is essentially the derivative of the compensated demand function, plus the income effect, where income effect is given by minus y times del y over del I. Where y is a Marshallian demand function and I is income. So we want to now transform this equation into the elasticity form. We will do this by multiplying and dividing both sides by an expression. Specifically, we will multiply and divide both sides by py over y. And then we'll see that using simple algebraic manipulations and the definitions of elasticity, etc., we'll be able to get the Slutsky equation in the elasticity form. So multiplying both sides by py over y, we get py over y times del y del py on the left hand side. And then on the right hand side, we get py over y times del yc over del py. And then we will do one additional trick to the next expression. Not only will we multiply this by py over y to keep things same with everything else, we'll also multiply and divide this by I. And once we do this, you will see the logic of this clear in just a minute. So here we have done one additional step. Not only have we multiplied this by py over y, we've also multiplied and divided this expression by I. And now this essentially is just 1, so we haven't changed anything just yet. And then times del y over del I. Now, so this already starts looking familiar, and also we'll make one switch here. Even though we are looking at the derivative of the compensated demand function with respect to price, we can make use of the result that we have seen before, that at the optimal solution, the compensated demand function, or the solution by this consumer to the utility, to the expenditure minimization problem, is the same as the solution to the utility maximization problem. So the Hicksian and the Marshallian demand functions at the optimal are identical. And this is an important result, and we will make use of this along with the definition of elasticity. And recall, elasticity is the percentage change, for example, the price elasticity of demand of a good X with respect to the price of X or its own price is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of X in response to the percentage change in the price of that good. And we can rearrange this and write this in a cleaner way as elasticity of X with respect to Px is simply del X over del Px times Px over X. So we will use both these results in our equation, and then we can see how we can simplify this a great deal to get the Slutsky equation in elasticity form. So again, py over y, then del y over del py, we just keep this here because we're going to start manipulating this equation also, equals, we have made this little switch here where we have replaced our y with yc because we proved that they are identical. And now notice what we will do here. We will be rearranging these expressions. So we have just a y here. Now, the instinct may be to just cancel this y with y, but no, we will not cancel this y. We will actually do y times py divided by I. And this thing now becomes the share of spending on good y from consumer's income. So this is essentially the share of spending on y. And then what we are left with is I over y times del y over del I. So let's pause it for a second and see how we can now get elasticities here. This expression is nothing but the price elasticity of demand for a good y. This expression is the price elasticity of the compensated demand of y with respect to its own price. This expression is the share in the spending of y by this consumer in total spending. and then this is nothing but the income elasticity of demand of Y. So just to recap, what we get is that the price elasticity of demand of Y equals the compensated elasticity of demand of Y minus the share of Y in consumers' income times the income elasticity of demand. So this is the elasticity form of Slutsky's equation, where we have now changed the equation to say from price effect equals SE plus IE, to translate that into saying that the Martian elasticity of demand for a good equals the compensated elasticity of demand for that good minus the share of that good in consumer spending times the income elasticity of demand for that good.